The overall health of a person, the external environment and lifestyle play a significant role in developing hyperthermia. For instance, heat edema can occur if you are not used to being in milder heat. This can cause your ankles, lower legs, or hands to swell. You need to know how to act in these situations, and we, therefore, advise you to keep watching today's video on the ways to survive hyperthermia. Before we move on, make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all our videos. The lifestyle circumstances that occur in hyperthermia include poor consumption of fluids, especially in the summer season when spending a lot of time outdoors in the sun. Apartments that do not have proper ventilation and air conditioning can also occur in a person developing hyperthermia. When your heating climbs too high and torments your health, it's known as hyperthermia. Hyperthermia is actually an umbrella word. It refers to various situations that can occur when your body's heat regulation system can't manage the heat in your surroundings. You're said to have critical hyperthermia if your body temperature is over 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees centigrade. The average body heat is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees centigrade. How is hyperthermia different from having a fever? Your body's temperature is monitored by a part of the brain called the hypothalamus. It usually retains your temperature at around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius with a minor shift throughout the day and night. Suppose your body senses an infection of a virus or bacteria, in that case the hypothalamus may reset your body's thermostat to make your body hotter, less courteous host for those contagious agents. In this case, illness occurs as part of the immune system effect. As the infection passes, your hypothalamus should reset your temperature back to its average levels. With hyperthermia from heat stroke, however, the body is responding to shifts in your surroundings. The body's general cooling mechanisms, such as sweating, aren't sufficient to subdue the heat of your surroundings. Your temperature soars in response, causing you to endure some of the symptoms earlier specified. Some over-the-counter prescriptions, such as acetaminophen, Tylenol, can help take down a fever. However, they would be inefficient in treating hyperthermia. Only rehydration, a shift in environment, and externally cooling efforts can invert hypothermia. Stages of hypothermia. Hyperthermia occurs in many stages. Heat exhaustion, for example, in a general condition, but others such as heat syncope may be less known to you. The following is a list of hypothermic conditions and heat-related illness. If your body heat starts to rise and you're inadequate to cool yourself through sweating, you're enduring heat stress. Heat stress can lead to severe complications such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. In addition to feeling miserably heated, you may also experience nausea, dizziness, weakness, headache, thirst. If you are exhibiting symptoms of heat stress, get a more comfortable space and relax. Start drinking water or other fluids with electrolytes that will help rebuild hydration. Electrolytes are elements in the body such as potassium, calcium, and sodium that put you hydrated. They help improve your muscle health, heart health, and nerve function. If your symptoms worsen, inquire for medical attention. If extended hours in high temperatures are causing you physical distress and emotional stress, you may be dealing with heat fatigue. People who aren't used to scorching weather or hot working situations are particularly exposed to heat fatigue. In addition to just feeling tired, hot, and thirsty, you may have trouble focusing on your work. You may even lose coordination. If you see pressure on your mental and physical well-being, get out of the heat and cool down with fluids. Slowly adapting to exercising or working in a heated environment can further prevent heat fatigue. Syncope, also known as fainting, happens when your blood pressure declines and blood flow to the brain temporarily decreases. It tends to occur if you've been exerting yourself in a heated environment. You're at risk for heat syncope if you take a beta blocker to decrease your blood pressure. Fainting is frequently preceded by lightheadedness or dizziness. You may feel like fainting, but you can prevent losing consciousness if you cool down and relax quickly. Putting your legs up can help too. As with other heat-related illness, rehydrating is vital. Any fluid will do, but electrolyte-filled sports drinks or water are best. Heat cramps ordinarily follow intense exercise or exertion in the heat. They're ordinarily the effect of an electrolyte imbalance and are typically felt in the arm muscles, abdomen, or leg. To help reduce heat cramps, relax in a cool place and be sure to refresh the electrolytes and fluids that are lost when you sweat. Heat edema can occur if you sit or stand for a long time in heat and are not used to staying in warmer temperatures. This can make your hands, lower legs, or ankles swollen. This inflammation is from fluid accumulation in your extremities. This is perhaps related to a response concerning the aldosterone-stimulated reabsorption of sodium into the blood through the kidneys. Usually, heat edema impulsively subsides over time once you become used to the heated atmosphere. Cooling down and placing your feet up will also help you stay hydrated with sufficient water and electrolyte consumption. Sometimes staying engaged in the heat for increased periods can cause red pimple-like bumps to surface on the skin. This usually develops beneath clothing that has been drenched with sweat. Heat rashes usually fade on its own after you cool down or change clothes. However, infection is likely if the skin isn't provided to cool soon after the rash is developed. This is one of the most severe stages of hyperthermia. Heat exhaustion occurs when your body can't calm itself anymore. In addition of sweating extensively, you may endure skin that's cold and clammy, dizziness, rapid pulse, weakness, thirst, trouble concentrating, coordination issues. This is the end stage before heat stroke occurs, so you must reset and rehydrate as soon as you sense symptoms occurring. If you don't feel your symptoms progressing, seek instant medical attention. When to seek immediate medical attention? Hyperthermia's most serious stage is heat stroke. It can be disastrous. Other heat-related illnesses can lead to heat strokes if they aren't treated quickly and effectively. Heat stroke occurs when your body heat reaches about 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Fainting is often the first sign. Other signs and symptoms include flushed skin, irritability, confusion, coordination issues, weak or rapid pulse, reduced sweating. When these signs begin to appear, you should take a cold bath or a shower to help rush up your recovery. Drink water or electrolyte-filled sports drinks. Put ice bags beneath your arms and around your groin area. To get to a cold place, preferably one with air conditioning. If your symptoms don't progress when you try cooling off and rehydrating or seeing someone who seems to be having a heat stroke, call your local emergency services immediately. How to prevent hyperthermia? The initial hyperthermia treatment is to get away from the heated atmosphere and move to a cool shaded space. In case if a person has a heat cramp that endures for more than an hour, then a consultation with a doctor is advised. An individual presumed to have a heat stroke should be promptly hurried to a nearby emergency room. Before going to the emergency room, the patient should be kept in a cold shaded space, resting down and removing excess clothing. The patient should not be given anything to drink or to eat until they regain full consciousness. Once in the emergency room, the patient will be given intravenous fluid to provide the lost electrolytes. The patient will be observed closely until the symptoms subside and the temperature is restored to normal. Additional treatment may be required if it is suspected that the patient may be having organ failure, seizures, or other complications due to hyperthermia. In cases of severe hyperthermia, the patient will have to spend a few days in the hospital for close monitoring until all symptoms resolve and the body temperature comes back to normal. Staying in the heat means knowing the following precautions. Some of the tips to consider for hypothermia include: take cool-down breaks in the shade or an air conditioning atmosphere. If you don't require to be outside in extreme heat, stay indoors. Wear lightweight, light-colored clothing when outdoors. Drink plenty of water and electrolytes. Stay well hydrated. Drink water or drinks comprising electrolytes, such as Powerade or Gatorade, every 15 to 20 minutes when you're working in the heat. Take a cool shower. Wear loose clothing. If your home isn't well air-conditioned, consider spending time in the library, an air-conditioned mall, or other cool public places during hot seasons. Try to relax as much as possible, placing a wet cloth on the forehead. Using ice packs. People who work in scorching environments or exposed to high heat during the course of the job are at increased risk of hyperthermia. Construction workers, farmers, and others who put in long hours outdoors in the heat should take precautions to face hyperthermia. The same is true for firefighters and people who work around large ovens or indoor spaces that are poorly air-conditioned. Specific health conditions can also put you at greater risk of hyperthermia. Certain blood pressure and heart medications, such as diuretics, can decrease your capability to cool down through sweat. If you're on a low-sodium diet to help regulate high blood pressure, you may be more agile to develop hypothermia. Children and older adults are increased risk as well. Many kids play hard in the hot outdoors without taking time to rest, cool off, and stay hydrated. Older adults tend to be less aware of temperature changes, so they don't often acknowledge in time if their atmosphere heats up. Older adults who live in a home without air conditioning or fans may also face hyperthermia in scorching weather. And so with that, we've come to the end. We hope you found this video helpful. To let us know your experiences and views in the comment section below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time, tend.